Thank you, Mr. President. The Russian Federation considers South-South cooperation to be an important format for mutual support between the countries of the Global South. It is complementary but does not replace traditional forms of development assistance. We note that in the light of the serious challenges facing developing countries, as well as the inability of developed countries to fulfill their obligations in terms of development financing, the importance of South-South cooperation is growing. The reports of the Secretary General of the United Nations and the UNDP administrator submitted to this session show that developing countries are already finding solutions to development issues together. These issues include combating poverty and inequality, increasing the quality of healthcare and education, strengthening the production potential and modernization of state governance. We also welcome the inclusion of South-South cooperation in the strategic and programming documents of the UN Development System organizations. We expect that the provisions on South-South cooperation in the upcoming quadrennial comprehensive policy review of operational activities will be strengthened. We welcome the completion of the conceptual framework for the measurement of South-South cooperation. The Russian Federation participated in this work as an observer. At the same time, we note that any initiatives to quantitatively measure South-South cooperation must be voluntary in nature. And this because we must take into account the many types of South-South cooperation, and they must not be used to reconsider the financial obligations of developed countries. According to the latest data, in 2021, the volume of assistance provided by the Russian Federation to developing countries reached $1.2 billion. A large portion was allocated through trilateral cooperation. Such programs are carried out jointly with UNDP, UNIDO, the FAO, the WFP, and other UN system agencies. The increase in mutually beneficial and equal partnerships between the countries of the South is also facilitated by regional links in such formats as BRICS, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and the Eurasian Economic Union. In our joint projects with these bodies, the Russian experts have supported our partner countries in carrying out various reforms. Thus, over the past years, Russian specialists have assisted in the reforms of the forestry sector in Armenia, in increasing trade opportunities for Belarus and Uzbekistan, in developing a digital vaccine register in Turkmenistan, in increasing the national potential for climate modeling in Kyrgyzstan, in the development of startup ecosystems in Tajikistan, in the modernization of governance of state work in or city work in Cuba. We've also financed a UNIDO project on modernizing Cuban industry, which provides for both agricultural technology and fertilizer. And this was included in the manual for best practices in the area of South-South cooperation and trilateral cooperation. And this was in 2022. We plan to continue to provide support in bolstering the potential of developing countries, including through bilateral channels, first and foremost by providing access to quality education. Beginning this year, the government of the Russian Federation has increased the quota of free education for foreign citizens to 30,000 persons per year. Such students are studying in the most important specialities for economically developing countries, including engineers, in medicine, in energy, and in agriculture. Mr. President, We expect that the UN system will continue to assist in creating the necessary conditions for South-South cooperation and trilateral cooperation. Over the past 10 years, this format has allowed for the improvement of living conditions for all developing countries, which is a significant indicator of its role in the context of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you for your attention.